Craft Brews and Casual Conversations. Rob and Drew joining with you for a Strange Brew edition.
Drew and Rob here.
Drew and Rob with you for a Strange Brew edition of Dudes with Brews on a Porch. We're going to be drinking a raspberry ale.
Raspberry-licious.
Dudes with Brews on a Porch presents to you another edition of Strange Brews. Conspiracies, murder, ghost stories, aliens. They're all coming to get you, my dears.
I don't know how to say the name of this beer, Rob.
I don't even see the
You want to try?
Yeah.
We are drinking a pure raspberry ale from Founders. It's Rubaeus? Rubaeus? I don't know how you fucking say it.
Wow, that is
Rubaeus?
I think it's Rubaeus.
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 A raspberry. Do you say burry or berry? Some people say burry. A raspberry ale. From Michigan. Founders recently diving into some controversy. We won't talk about it.
Of course.
I didn't know anything about it until the other day, and I already had this in my fridge. So it is. God damn it! It is what it is, and it.
So you're just gonna bring up that there's a controversy, but not say what it is?
I don't really know. I don't know really what it is. They're accused of like some sort of racism, which I don't think is right. Like racism is bad.
You don't condone racism. It's a good stance to have.
Yeah. So, like I said, I really don't know anything about it, but it was just in my fridge already. So I'm sorry.
This isn't made from like.
No.
It's very red.
It is very red. It kind of looks like a red wine, almost like a juice. It looks very romantic.
It's very juicy looking. Very
all of
red.
The picture that will be on Instagram, it has a candle lit in front of it. It's like we're having a romantic getaway here with this raspberry ale.
I live for these days.
The romantic ones?
These times with you.
Optimizing the flavor of fresh raspberries, Rubaeus is a perfect blend of sweet, tart, and refreshing.
Kind of want to name my kid Rubaeus. I'll never have a kid, but I like that name, Rubaeus.
5.7 ABVs, 15
That's
on the IBU. Rubaeus Phillips.
Yeah, Rubaeus.
Rubaeus. Clean thy room.
Yes.
That's how I think of it. So,
give it a sniff.
Oh boy,
here.
It smells like cranberry, or not cranberries, raspberry juice.
How many have you had before I came over?
You saw me open the six-pack. The six-pack provided by my sister's boyfriend. His name is Dan. I actually know Dan from like 10 years ago, but I haven't seen him since.
I know Dan from way back.
I'm just saying. He lives in Michigan, which makes sense because that's where Founders is. How do they make that work? Ooh.
That was an interesting face. You want to talk about that? Get a little sour going on?
Not what I expected. Did you try it yet?
No, I was just waiting to hear what you had to say.
Tastes like raspberry. It's got like a punch to it.
It almost tastes kind of like I hate to say it, like a watered down fruit punch a little bit.
A little bit. I also have a cold.
Ooh, I like that. I like that aftertaste. Like a little.
Is that how you get the aftertaste? Oh.
No. No, it's not.
It is. It has like a weird like. It hits you with something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's very sweet.
Hits you with some sweetness. With some tart.
It doesn't. This tastes like what I always thought wine would taste like. When I was a kid.
I'm not a big wine dude, but yeah.
I was when I was younger. I had my wine phases, but like wine looks so good, tastes so bad at times.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you don't like when you find the wine that you like. It's I don't like dry wines. I like.
Isn't all wine wet? It is a liquid. Boom.
Bow. But yes, by definition, liquid is wet. But
so it can't be a dry wine if it's if it's a liquid.
Yeah, that's those snooty wine drinkers that are they just want to make you feel like you're stupid by going, yeah, it's a dry wine. And then you're in your head going, well, I better, isn't it liquid? But you're going, if I say that, then I'm not going to be in their club, and I want to be in their club.
I don't think I could ever be in a prestigious wine club. I wouldn't want to be. I'm not ready to bring
Not
myself
big on
down.
Catholicism. You're going to edit that out, aren't you? I saw it in your face.
I don't know. I might leave it in. We'll see.
You should.
We'll see what happens. All right, Rob. So we're going to talk about a couple things.
I like this. I'm just going to say
I'm
that.
glad you like it. I'm not sure if I do. But
I could see why you wouldn't, though. Because let's talk about the beer a little bit
okay.
for a second here. We got time.
Nothing but time.
I could see you not liking this because this is not a conventional beer tasting beer. It doesn't taste like beer. This is the beer you give to your 3-year-old.
Oh.
By the way, I can babysit, right, this weekend?
Good thing he's 5.
Yeah.
And he said 3-year-old, so
yes. We're all good.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, I like the fruitier beers though. Like I do like them.
This does not taste like a beer.
In IPA form. No, it tastes like a juice.
Yeah, it seriously, like, I feel like they forgot an ingredient or whatever. But, I mean, can you get Rubaeus at any place? Or
No,
is it
no.
hard to find?
I think Founders is pretty. They distribute. I don't know if Rubaeus is hard to find, but I know they like Joe from Things Joe Hates. We had Founders when he was on last time.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if I went out to drink or whatever, I could drink this all night. I bet you get gut
You drink
rot
this all
from it.
night? Ugh.
Well, I could drink it and not, like, get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm over. I could drink beer, and then when I'm like, I'm not really feeling the beer, like when we went to the
You could
breweries the other
switch
day, and I
this,
was like,
yeah.
I was like, man, it's just like that bourbon beer, like, really was like
That was rough.
That was rough.
Really rough.
Yeah.
Did you like the taste of it, or was it overpowering?
It was overpowering. And honestly, if it was my first beer of the night, I would have been able to power through it. But because like,
and you even got the 5-ounce pour.
yeah, I was glad I did that. That was, and I did not even dent it. Like,
I can't handle. I don't like those either because it just like you said, it doesn't taste like a beer per se.
that tasted straight up like bourbon.
It tasted like bourbon. Yeah,
Yeah.
it tasted like bourbon. It looked like a porter. And
The Scotch one that
rough.
we did, the Dead and Dead, from Dead and Dead from
Rogue.
Rogue.
Yeah.
That one had a Scotch undertone to it that was really good, and it like countered the flavor of the beer. Whereas this was just straight up tasted like bourbon.
yeah,
With
every
a beer texture.
every like bourbon one that I've had has always been pretty overpowering. Even like I don't know who makes it, but it might be Sprecher's made it, like a bourbon root beer.
Mm-hmm.
It had alcohol in it. My grandma drank it and she gave me one, and I tried it. I was like, this is gonna make me sick. I gotta sneeze.
Bless you. Well, that's the thing. Bourbon is like one of those alcohols that seriously, it hits my gut and I go, nope, this is gonna come back up.
That's how I feel about like all hard liquor though.
See, I don't have that problem with all hard liquor, but bourbon especially, like when I hear
It's not
somebody go
good.
bourbon on the rocks, like that sounds to me like you're a fucking, a CEO or a man's man or whatever. Like, you get a bourbon.
I'll take a summer squeeze, which is an actual drink, and it's delicious. It's got grenadine in it.
Nice.
It's blended.
Is that got bourbon?
No, Malibu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Delicious.
But yeah, so it's like, but bourbon is like, it's one of those, like, I'm sure anybody who's listening to this or whatever, like, they've gotten into those things. Like the other day, I had a beer and a half or a little over a beer and a half. I know that that's nothing to most people, but to me, I don't drink ever. Like, I only drink one beer a week. So, when I got that bourbon beer, it was like, it hit my stomach and was like,
Yeah.
I felt it in the back of my throat. I felt it in my stomach, and I was like, this is not, I can't do it. I can't. If I drink this, I will throw up.
And I tasted it, and I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, so...
and maybe if you're a bourbon enthusiast, you'd probably love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just not. And
that's what I like Scotch, so I like that Dead and Dead one. But so for this beer, I can see why you don't like it because it doesn't have a beer taste at all. And you like beer. Me, I like fruity drinks.
It's like
I really can't taste any like beer taste in it.
no, I don't taste any beer taste to it. It's very like I don't know, like it's like it like punches you with tartness and then goes away instantly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It hits you right away, but then it's gone.
Yeah, it's kind of got
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, we're being honest, right?
I feel like I'm gonna amend my statement from before when I said I could drink this all night.
I couldn't.
I feel like it'd be like it would give you gut rot over time.
Sugary.
Yeah.
They don't really get into how they brew it or like what hops or anything are in it, but can't imagine too much hops. It's not very bitter. It's very tart though. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's move on, I guess.
All right, let's move on, he says.
Well, do you not want to?
It's been a while since we've done a Strange Brew episode, Rob. I don't know what the last one was. Was it Hat Man?
I
think so.
I think maybe that's a long time ago.
Well, we've kind of been on this man escapade, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Of sorts. We talked about this man. We talked about Hat Man. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the Hamburger Man.
Ronald McDonald?
You might think that, but no. Nothing like the Hamburglar, nothing like Ronald McDonald. The Hamburger Huntsman of Sand Hills.
Boom, boom, boom. I don't know anything about this.
Kind of sounds like a heartbeat.
That's a heck of a talent you got there.
Thank you. Yeah.
That was not anywhere. That was straight from the vocal cords.
Straight from it. This is in Hutchinson, home of the Cosmosphere, and of the salt mines. Best known as a place that hosts the Kansas State Fair, which, everyone needs a state fair and everything like that. But did you know that it also has some darkness to it, Rob? Oh, boy.
I'm getting scared.
There are some large hills that appear to be made of sand, and the majority of this park is made up of weeds, odd plants, and some woods here and there, and also a hook-handed killer that lives in a tiny shack, known to the locals as the Hamburger Man. So this is like one of the oldest legends in the state. Some say that he's known by this name because he grinds up his victim into hamburger meat.
While you're alive, I see.
He's like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Others claim his name was given to him because his face
Dwayne.
is so... Huh?
I thought you were going to say other people claim his name is Dwayne.
Dwayne. Well, Dwayne. Others claim that it was given to him because his face is so badly scarred that it resembles ground beef. So like Crater Face from Grease. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They call him Crater Face because he got stuff on his face.
Yes.
It's a pretty mean thing to say to somebody.
It's horrible.
Like, you really think about it? No wonder why he didn't like everybody else. Because people would call him He's known as Crater Face. You don't even know his real name.
Yeah, that's fucking mean.
And he's like, I'll show those T-birds. Here, get in my vehicle. Let's race into the creek.
Yep.
Or however he talks.
I don't care if I die.
I lose. You know, I got fancy machetes coming out the side. Grind you up. You're the one that I love. The two most common details about this myth give him a hook for a hand, like a pirate, as you should have. He lives in a rundown shack of a home in the woods. People don't know if he's living or dead. It's difficult to designate the class of this legend.
I kind of like the idea of him like growing to be like 90. A 90-year-old hamburger man, and he comes and he's like short now, and it's like he walks with those little tiny steps, like like when you ever see those 90-year-old guys that like walk with like baby steps.
Yeah,
and he's like coming after you with a hook that he can't raise anymore because he's like
I've eaten. He's like a
But if hamburger meat,
So Fond du Lac, Fond du Lac has a Don Borski or Gorski. I forget what his name is.
Gorski sounds
Gorski, yeah. And he is known for eating 2 or 3 Big Macs from McDonald's a day. He's eaten over 20,000 Big Macs. He's been interviewed by George Lopez. He was on the movie Super Size Me. He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he came to my college when I was in college.
Oh, really? He's from Fond du Lac. He's a Fond du Lac native, and he goes to McDonald's. He's in
Mullet? I believe he has a mullet.
Kind of.
Long hair.
Yeah. He's got his own shrine by a booth inside the McDonald's. If you look up just like the Big Mac Man, you'll find it. And then don't be confused with the Hamburger Man, because this is like the Hamburger Man. He grinds you up. It doesn't say if he eats you though. So what does he?
No, it's well. Here's what I've got.
Okay, you got some more info on this, huh?
Grinds their body down while they are still alive to a meaty hamburger.
How would
like mixture for his dinner?
Oh, so he does eat them.
So it's like a meaty hamburger-like mixture for his dinner. I read it wrong.
What is where do you think he starts?
Feet.
Man. So you're really getting ground up for quite some time.
Yeah, I think he goes feet to hip, and then hand to shoulder, and then hip up.
Hip up?
Hip up.
So like he really preserves you, huh? You think he throws you in some ice? Keep you good?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe that's how we should try and catch him. Everybody's going to look for people that, you know, we need to look at the ice sales.
If you know, in what I'm reading says they don't know if he's alive or dead, but a dead person, a spirit, ain't gonna grind somebody up to eat him for dinner.
Zombies.
So is he like an advanced zombie?
I think so. I don't know enough about it. Let's move on. Let's see what like okay, so Sleepy Hollow Road. Do you have anything about that? That's interesting. It says something about that on here.
This is in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, is that where we're looking?
I thought we were just talking about Hamburger Man.
That's what this story is.
These are your.
Oh, it went down to another story. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry about that. So there's nothing on this site about
That's all they talk about. That's really all there is about the Hamburger Man. I just thought it was compelling. Thought it was interesting. Thought we could warm up with it, Rob. Okay.
No, that's cool. I'm sorry. I was just I was behind the eight ball.
Jumping the gun a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. So. So it says he lives somewhere on Hamburger Hill in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Yep.
It definitely says he's a cannibal who hunts people who roam the hill alone at night. So, does the hamburger... So, this is where this myth, to me, gets a little bit like... I don't know if I believe it. Because not only do they have this idea of he looks like, you know, whatever his face has... you know, like the Hamburger Man, he grinds you up to hamburger. But he also lives on Hamburger Hill. Like,
I think that's just what they call it.
Because of him?
Yeah.
But there is a Hamburger Hill.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a Lombardi Avenue in Green Bay.
Yeah, but there was a Hamburger Hill back in like the Civil War time, I'm pretty sure.
Well, if he's dead, he could have been around for the Civil War times.
That would.
I feel like that'd be a good Civil War little like jab. You know, all right, your face looks like a hamburger, mister. You know?
I think you're like 40 years too early for that. But
hey, look at that guy down the street talking to Sally. He's got a weird old face.
It looks like hamburger.
Let's call him Hamburger Man, eh? Hey, Hamburger Man, get away from my gal. That is my dame.
No, yeah,
No?
No, I think that's the 20s.
And then
I don't know.
When was Civil War?
1880s.
Oh, you know, close enough. And then and then like, you know, Hamburger Man's like, oh, I'll show you.
I grind you. I can't do it.
I grind you.
I grind you. No, well,
turns him into hamburger. That's what see? Another horror movie based on the Hamburger Man.
Yeah.
I think we should do it.
That would be a good one too, yeah.
You know, he gets made fun of.
Question, would it be a found footage or would it be a... Because there's a legend here, so...
Does it have to be found footage, yeah.
Okay.
Like, the person stumbles, you know, they're like, what you're about to see are real life footage.
2 podcasters went into the woods in Kansas. This is what we found.
This is what we found. Or yeah, I don't know how we do that, but
yeah, so it's, I mean, that would definitely be, if I lived there, I'm going to Hamburger Hill.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going by myself. at first, but I go write poetry on Hamburger Hill.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Poetry on Hamburger Hill, huh?
Until I get ground up from
I
the
call
feet
this one
to hip up.
Ketchup. Hamburger Hill, the place of the Hamburger Man. What is he there for? Why?
Who does he love?
Who does he love?
Who loves him?
All we have to know is there ketchup on Hamburger Hill?
Much like life for all.
So this article says, don't wander too far off the path in the Hutchinson area because you'll risk meeting the Hamburger Man, a half ghost, half monster who kidnaps his victims, drags them into the shack, and drives them up to the hamburger meat.
Are you seeing do you have a picture? Because I got a picture of this muscular dude wearing straight up
Undies?
you see these boxer briefs he's like ripping out of. And
He looks really comfortable. One would even say that maybe those underwears are made from micromodal.
They do
3
have-
times softer than cotton.
They do, yeah, they got a MeUndies look to them.
The picture I'm looking at is a guy with it looks like a little mask over his face. I mean, he's got eyes cut out, and he's eating his hamburger upside down. Very different picture.
Yeah, that is definitely a different guy. Or he went on a big health somebody was like
He's eating one of his victims.
His friend was like he came across a friend that was like, dude, I just became a vegetarian and started running. You gotta try this. And now he's this guy.
Don't worry, I still eat hamburger though. That's it.
But that's such a ridiculous. You know who that looks like? That looks like if you ever watched Prison Break, the brother
didn't.
that. Well, I'm talking to the listeners now. Then
Oh, okay.
leave Drew. All right, Drew's gone. In Prison Break, there's the older brother in Prison Break. It looks like that guy, that actor. All right, Drew, you can come
The
back.
fuck is this? Oh, you son of a bitch. I had some
That
articles.
was my dick.
Huh?
You said, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh.
you son of a bitch.
Okay, so yeah, that's a Hamburger Man. Now I want to talk about the Midnight Man, Rob.
Okay, we're done with the Hamburger Man.
I don't know if there's anything more about the Hamburger Man that we could possibly discuss. That wouldn't just be drawn out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only one podcast in the universe can draw out paranormal things, and that's Astonishing Legends.
They do overdo it.
I wanted to do the episode on Skidwalkers, but then Astonishing Legends did it.
They did a
5 episodes.
4 or 5-part series.
Oh, well, you know what? We're not as professional as they are.
Yeah, but some people say that they're not professional. That they go off on too many tangents.
Ugh.
Wow, you are really not liking this.
It's not good. Like, I didn't drink it for a while. I took a little break from it, and then I go sip it again, and I don't like it. I don't like it, Rob. I'm going to be honest.
I see it on your face.
Much like the Detroit Lions. I'm not a fan.
Well, power through.
Ugh. Jesus Christ.
All right, well, well, would you go? All right, I just want to ask, would you do an investigation there? Would you be afraid of the Hamburger Man?
No, not at all.
You don't? Yeah, okay. All right.
No, I think it'd be all right.
Have there been any, do we know if anybody died?
Well, no, because they're turned into hamburger meat.
I know. Well,
It's kind of hard to find the remains when they're ground up.
do you
and
think he eats the
eaten.
bones?
I would imagine he uses them for flavor. Maybe makes a nice stew out of them.
Hamburger Man's a hell of a chef.
You know? You think he mixes it with hamburger helper?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you gotta spice it up every once in a while. I mean, ground beef is ground
Cannibal
beef.
Helper.
Yeah, I like that. Cannibal helper.
All right. Well,
So I'd like to talk about the Midnight Man attached to the Midnight Game, and this is something that we might do. Are you ready?
Yes.
We'll see, depending on the rules here. But I got burp. I'm sorry. The Midnight Game is an old pagan ritual used mainly as punishment for those who have broken the laws of pagan religion in question. While it was mainly used to create a scare tactic to not disobey the gods, there's still a very existent chance of death for those who play the midnight game. And, you know, I figure we work third shift. This is something we could experiment with today.
Yeah, we could.
There's even higher chance of permanent mental scarring. I mean, if you look into my brain, I don't think you can get any more mentally scarred. So I think I'm okay. I'm in the clear. It is highly recommended that you do not play the midnight game. Maybe the noon game, but not the midnight game. The noon game is just a little milder.
Yeah, yep.
You know, so prerequisites. It must be exactly 12 a.m. by whose clock?
Good point.
I mean, do we go off my phone's clock, the world's clock?
On my watch, that's 15 hours slow.
Could be. Otherwise, it will not work. You need a candle, a piece of paper, a writing implement, matches or a lighter, salt, a wooden door, and at least one drop of your own blood. If you're playing with multiple people, you become blood brothers.
Well, I would do that with you just for that.
They need their own aforementioned materials. Okay, so first, what you're gonna do is you're gonna write your full name, your first, middle, and last on a piece of paper. Put at least one drop of blood on the paper. Allow it to soak into the paper. Okay. After you do that, you want to turn off all your lights in the place that you're going to be doing this. Go to your wooden door and place a piece of paper with your name on it in the front of the door. Now take out the candle and light it. Place it on top of the paper. So is the door like laying down on the ground, or is it just like a doorway?
I'm trying to figure that out.
I think it's a doorway. So step 3, if we read ahead, we wouldn't have these questions. Knock on the door 21 or 22 times. Excuse me.
I was going to say I got 22 over here.
22 times. The hour must be 12 a.m. upon the final knock. You really got to go hard then. You got to like fucking...
Yeah, you got to practice it.
like,
well, it's got to end at 12 o'clock. So you could start at 11:59 and get it. So you got to practice beforehand and go, okay, I got to get 22 knocks in a minute or in 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I've got to keep that same rhythm.
But then you got to open your door, blow out the candle, close the door, and you might just have allowed the Midnight Man to enter your house. Immediately relight your candle. This is where the game begins, because you must now hang around in the dark completely when the lit candle is in your hand. Your goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all costs until 3:33 a.m. Should your candle ever go out, that means the Midnight Man is near you, and you must relight the candle within 10 seconds. If you're not successful in doing this, you must immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. I don't know how you're going to do that in the pitch dark, but hey, we all have... You can try.
You don't think that you can surround yourself with a circle of salt when it's dark?
Just spin.
Yeah.
I got to get my salt in 10 seconds or whatever.
No, you got to relight the candle in 10 seconds, but after that, you've got probably less than 10 seconds to...
Okay. Well, if you're unsuccessful with both of your actions, the Midnight Man will create a hallucination.
There you go.
Hallucinogen. I don't know why I wanted to say that. Of your greatest fear. Maybe I'm dyslexic.
Maybe you're going to say a hallucinogenic vision.
Could be.
Vision.
We'll go with that.
Vision.
And rip out your organs one by one.
Starting with which one?
Your feet.
Okay.
And then he actually has a deal with the Hamburger Man. That's why we're talking about both of them. Yo, Hammy.
I got the prime cuts over here.
Yeah.
You need a liver? You need a kidney?
I just got myself a 22-year-old slab of calf.
What?
You want it? Like your calf? Calf muscle? Your leg?
Oh, okay. Well, you shouldn't have used something that's also an animal. Very confusing.
You're going to feel this when this happens, but you will be unable to react. So if you are successful in creating the circle of salt, you must remain there until 3:33. That's an inconvenience right there. Unless it's like 3:32.
Yeah.
then you'll be all right.
I like the fact that somebody's talking, like, he's going to take your organs out, and you're like, but you can't move. That's a real inconvenience for me.
Unless you have like a really big circle.
Yeah.
You stretch your arms out a little bit. If you're successful in relighting your candle...
I would have a circle already made somewhere and run to it if my candle went out.
Thinking ahead. We'll see if you can do that. You may proceed with the game if you relight your candle or whatever. And you must continue until 3:33 a.m. without being attacked by the Midnight Man or being trapped inside the Circle of Salt to win the Midnight Game. And then the Midnight Man apparently will just leave.
So if you go to the Circle of Salt, you lose.
Yeah. The point is to avoid the Midnight Man.
Well, that's stupid. He can kill you. I want to see the Midnight Man. That's all I want. I don't want my organs taken.
Oh, okay. Well, also,
I'm an organ donor, but
that's post death.
Yes.
You don't want to feel the organs getting taken out.
No, I don't even want I don't like the idea of pricking my finger to put the blood on the paper.
Indications that you are near the Midnight Man will also include. What's that?
It'll get chilly.
How'd you know?
It just came to me.
I was just gonna say that. Include a sudden drop in temperature, seeing a pure black humanoid figure through the darkness. But if it's already black,
that's the same thing with Shadow Men and the Hat Man or whatever. You can't tell me that you've never been laying in the dark and you can see darker areas in the dark.
Maybe
you can.
Oh,
I'm not asking opinions here. You can.
Struck a chord here. And you'll be hearing very soft whispering coming from an unknown source.
Come play with my cat.
Cat?
Sprinkles. Come play with Sprinkles.
If you experience any of these, it will be advised that you leave the area and avoid the Midnight Man. Some things you shouldn't do.
If you experience these things, maybe you decided to play a game called the Midnight Man. Like they say that in there, like, oh, if you experience these things, vacate the area. Get out. Like, you summon this thing.
If some other rules, Rob, you don't turn on any of the lights during the game. You can't use a flashlight during the game.
Does that make him mad?
Oh, you can't go to sleep during it. Do not attempt to use...
I want to meet that guy. That's like, I just summoned the Midnight Man. I'm going to go to bed.
I'm going to go catch some Z's. Don't use another person's blood on your name, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I always carry at least 12 to 27 vials of blood, depending on where I am, because,
I like to have a few cc's of at least 5 random strangers' blood.
Right,
just in case I need to murder somebody.
In case I need to, in case some of my blood gets in a place that I don't want it, these other people are going down with me.
Yeah, yep.
I feel
that's the other thing too, is I'll put my blood anywhere. Timestamp it. I know that sounds like a bad idea, but at the same time, it's like, maybe it'll help someday. You never know.
Do not use a lighter as a substitute for a candle. It will not work.
Is that all in caps? Please tell me it's all in caps.
Do not is. That's it. And definitely do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man in any way.
No provoke, yo. No joke.
Even when the game is over, he will always be watching you. He's like Santa Claus. Just because Christmas isn't close doesn't mean he's not watching.
See, now I don't like that.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like that.
Yeah, what's the point of playing that game then? So really, you never won if you let him into your life.
You're just inviting Big Brother to come in and see your shame.
Have you? Has anything been going on in your neck of the woods in your apartment?
No, but we're coming back up on the time frame when things are going to start to get.
Yeah, she got coming up on the anniversary here.
Well, just like February, in mid-February, end of February is the second time of the year when things start getting bad again. So,
how fuck did I get on this article? Yeah.
But as of lately, everything's been fine. There's 2 people in the apartment now, so I guess I've had a couple little things happen, but it's nothing they're all things that I go, oh, that might be just in your head.
Yeah.
So I just let it go.
Okay.
People touching my feet, it feels like, or
it feels like someone's touching your feet?
Yeah, or just that kind of under my covers, or feels like somebody sits on the bed or something like.
I don't think you just imagine that.
I don't know. I can convince myself that I did. But But that kind of stuff, that happens all the time, though. Like, that's not major activity in that apartment because stuff is always happening.
Yeah.
But, I guess, and like I said, like mid-February is when it starts again, and it's already beyond mid-February. So like, there have been a couple like things that are, like that feeling like somebody sits on the edge of the bed. That's not something I really like happening, but it's happened a couple times. Like that bothers me a little bit. But
yeah, the Midnight Man's movie, by the way, 2016, 4.8 out of 10. Rating on IMDb.
Really? Oh, out of 10.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, that's because there's only a paragraph of information about it.
I feel like you could make a movie on it.
Probably.
I don't know how...
I think if they made a movie on that, then #/tag could be a movie. It'd be better.
How do people find like more shit to talk about? I don't know.
Well, when it comes to like Astonishing Legends, they go and get firsthand account. Like that's their full-time job to go and fucking. They overdo it because not only do they do that, but they go into the origins of where they like. Okay, this is the first time it's mentioned in literature. This is where we think the name came from. This is where we think the root of that like the root of that word comes from German. And then there's. Like they did one on gremlins, and like they're like, okay, gremlins.
I'm like Gizmo.
Well, there's real gremlins that were these things that that the RAS, the British Royal Air Force, in World War I and World War II, saw things that they dubbed gremlins that would pull apart electronics on their planes.
Yeah, man, cold sucks.
So like, and there were different accounts, but they were always these things that would like chew through wires on planes or unexplained things that they would do to pilots while they were flying. But gremlins, like, so on Astonishing Legends, they only did one episode on that, which they could have probably done way more, but they didn't. But they get into like this idea of like, okay, where does the word gremlin come from? There's a Norwegian word grem something, or German beer called Gremlin. They go into all these different things that they probably don't need to, and sometimes it does get to be overkill. People just want to hear the story sometimes.
Yeah.
I haven't been listening to Astonishing Legends as much like lately because some of their episodes just drag on for way too long, and I like the show. I love the show, but it's just like it does get a little old where it's like I just want to hear the story and I want to hear you get through it. Like
that's what we do.
Yeah, it's like bing bang boom.
Bing bang boom, baby.
Have a beer and chill the fuck out.
Oh yeah. So the midnight game, would that be something you want to do?
Yeah, I would do that.
What do you prick your finger with at home? I mean, I'm not diabetic.
I got a pin.
What?
A pin?
Like for like drawing blood, or just like a pin, like a
for my Purple Heart. No, just a pin, man, like a pin, a tack, or whatever.
I understand. I have tack, so we gotta make sure it's disinfected. I mean, I got a big candle. What if you have the 3 wick candles? You think that would work?
Yes.
They didn't really specify.
They just said no electronic light.
I think the Midnight Man likes clean linen, freshness smell. I think he'd appreciate that.
I think we're just giving him another way to find us.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't really live in a big place, so we'd be walking down the hallways quite a bit.
Yeah,
odds are he's going to come across to us.
I think he might.
What if, like, you're outside? No, you need a wood door. There's places, plenty of places with wood door. Barns? Oh, that'd be a good spot.
Yeah, well, what side? They never specify what side. What if you go outside, put the name on the door, and knock on the outside of the door? Does that mean he was in your house the whole time?
Well, I don't know.
And you're inviting him out of your house?
Maybe. Huh.
Interdimensional weirdness is
a lot of different. Do you believe in something like this, that you can summon an unknown force, an unknown entity? Through things like
Bloody Mary, these kind of like this one, anything like that, like no.
What about Ouija boards?
I don't fuck with Ouija boards.
It's just a piece of cardboard, though. I watched an episode of Ghost Adventures. They're using a Ouija board. I'm like, give me a break with that shit. Zozo or some bullshit like that.
But see, I don't
Could
use
this be Zozo trying to summon us and speak?
I don't fuck with Ouija boards, but I also don't fuck with trying to summon demons out loud without a Ouija board.
Are there nice? Are there nice demons? Like nicer ones? Mild
There's
demons?
tricksters.
Well, let's hang out with one of those.
Yeah.
Like who? Should we look up how to summon some demons? You think Google will give us some resources to summon demons?
I mean, yeah. There's Google will give you anything.
Google gives, man.
I'm just saying, like, you can really. Whether it's true or not, some of the things I've heard about people that summon the wrong shit is.
How to summon a demon easy? I like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not hard to summon a demon. It's opening yourself up to
what the fuck
to getting a demon into your life. It's getting rid of it that's hard.
First YouTube video that pops up: how to summon a demon for kids.
Pedophile demons?
I don't know. There's some weird shit going on YouTube though. Apparently, something with this Momo challenge. I don't know if you've heard of it. I heard about this Momo challenge. It was through the WhatsApp. Like WhatsApp, you like call these numbers or whatever, and you can talk anonymously. I think I don't really understand it, but it's like this creepy like Asian bird lady. It was based off a piece of art that somebody made in Japan. But you talk to this person and it tells you to like, you have to play these games, and you ultimately you end up like either like killing yourself or killing somebody else. But these people are like putting, they somehow got through these YouTube Kids videos because YouTube has an app, YouTube Kids. It's only kid videos, and they have it like with like Peppa Pig, and it like teaches like them how to like slit their wrists and shit. Pretty fucked up if you ask me.
Yeah, Peppa Pig is not a good show for kids.
That's not the real Peppa Pig.
Yeah, I've seen Peppa Pig. Very demonic.
Yeah. So it's weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
So you don't believe in the Ouija board effect?
I don't know.
Have you ever used one?
Yeah.
Did it work?
No. I mean, I don't know. I was in 5th grade.
Did you move it?
Yeah, I probably did.
I just lost respect for you because of something you did in the 5th grade.
I think we were just like, oh, does Kayla like us?
I will kill you. My name is Ra.
But yeah, she does. Ask her out before you're dead.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
The last thing you ever do is peck her on the cheek.
Geek.com, the 11 best demons to summon. Yeah, maybe there's some nice ones. All right.
I think that's a myth, that there's nice demons. Can you summon an angel?
Huh.
I never hear anybody talking about summoning angels.
I think you just, like, pray.
I just blew this thing wide open.
Booney.
Let's summon the Archangel Michael.
Your brother's name is Michael.
And we'll say, protect us from the demon that we're going to summon next.
There's a guy named Paimon. He isn't just any demon. Paimon, Paimon.
Oh, I thought you
Paimon. He's a demon king. The demon king that shows up in style, riding on a camel with a host of spirits, clears the way with trumpets and cymbals. Should come as no real surprise then that if you summon him, you can get some seriously dope stuff. I like that.
He's never going to come and talk to us.
Fuck that. I want to talk to Paimon. Not only can he teach you arts and science and secret things, but he can also hook you up with a rad familiar of some kind. What does that mean?
A familiar?
Yeah.
It's like a witches use familiars. It's like I'm trying to think of. I feel like it's like an animal or something that you can communicate with telepathically, possibly.
Yeah. Oh, he can make people. Your slaves. Granted, you.
I don't believe in slavery.
Yeah, I would agree, but
unless it's a white slave.
He sounds pretty good. He doesn't sound too bad. He can hook us up with some stuff.
Well, let's try it on the podcast.
We'll call him Pie for short. How to summon him? He doesn't say how to do it though.
Can we call him Pip?
Pip. Righto. Hey, Pip.
Pip, give me some stuff, Pip. I need a familiar, Pip.
I Pip. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know how to investigate paranormal things anymore. We need to experience it, Rob. I need to get this haunting, the want of a haunt.
Yeah, the want to be haunted.
I'm like Mulder. I want to be haunted.
Well, and I still feel like we can make this happen. But you need to get more time. You know, it's like you work third shift, you work every weekend. When you don't work, you're babysitting for your sister.
Thanks for reminding me.
Well, I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just trying to say you're never going to get this experience in your current situation.
You're really bringing me down here, Rob.
I'm just.
All you do is work. All you do is babysit. You work third shift.
You're a piece of shit.
Oh.
I love you, Drew.
Thought we were friends.
Yeah, you know I love you. I'm telling you, you got to quit your job and just podcast.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Just do it right now.
All right, let me call my boss.
This is sustainable. We got the hot passport.
We got the hot passport. We got all
merch now.
We got all the things here.
Probably talk about that.
Let me make a phone call. Yeah, we'll talk about the merch in a second. Let me. I'm calling my boss. Ready?
I'm ready. I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Okay, let's see if she answers.
Hello.
Hey, boss, this is Drew calling. Just want to say that I'm sick of your games and I quit. I quit this godforsaken job that you've made me work.
Wait, what?
Why are you using a voice? Your boss isn't going to recognize that voice.
Okay, what do you need?
I'm quitting my job.
Okay, well, I gotta go, dude.
So you don't care?
Okay, well, I guess you quit.
Wow.
I told you it'd be easy.
Are you recording this?
What do you mean? No.
I don't know. But I gotta go.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Well, my boss didn't give a shit about that, huh?
No, apprehensive at best.
Well, I feel like this episode sucks.
Really?
I don't know.
I like this episode.
Just kidding.
How much time do we got?
47 minutes. We can talk about the...
Well, here's what... Okay, I wanted to talk about something a little bit strange that happened to me the other day.
All right, I like it.
Now, it's not along the lines of haunting. It's not along the lines of monsters. It's along... this is a synchronicity thing that happened. And
that would be a good topic to explore because I feel like that's happened to me quite a bit. You think of something, and then it happens.
Yeah. It's well, and what happened is I've had a couple podcasts sitting on my list for 6 months, you know, or since I got my new phone.
Okay.
And you know, I haven't listened to any episodes of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like and then an episode of Dumb People Town came out.
Yeah.
And like, I should preface this by saying, when I scrolled through, it was this, I think it's called Hardcore Philosophy. It was the show that I got, but I didn't listen to any of them yet. And I scrolled through them, and there was like this one that kind of jumped out at me a little bit, but it, like, not just because it was a weird word. It was Ptolemy.
Okay.
And like, I didn't think really too much about it or whatever, but so then an episode of like dudes with, I'm not doing that. I'm turning my head.
I'm telling you too.
Whatever. I'm done. I'm done talking.
An episode of Dudes with Brews got mentioned?
No, I'm sorry. An episode of Dumb People. No, I said Dumb People Town.
Yeah.
An episode of Dumb People Town had a guy on it named Ptolemy,
right.
And so I was listening to that, and then as like just randomly, I decided to, after like seriously like 6 months of not clicking on that hardcore philosophy, I was like sometime in the next couple days after that, I was like, oh, I'll check out an episode of this.
Yeah.
And like I just kind of like I was gonna go all the way to the bottom and start fresh, but like I just like scrolled, and the one that it stopped scrolling on was the Ptolemy episode.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll check this one out because like I just heard, and the Ptolemy episode on that hardcore philosophy literally was about a bunch of stuff that I was just taught, like that on Tuesday of that week I was talking to my therapist about.
Yeah.
And it was like the map to finding what, like, it was I think the episode title is actually Maps, Ptolemy and somebody else or whatever. And the topic was like how maps can, like, we've got road maps, we've got GPS and all this stuff, but there's a difference between reading directions and being able to read a map. But if we look at our lives as being on a map, we can see these signposts that'll like lead us in the directions of where we want to go. It just resonated really deeply with me from what I was talking to my therapist about, and it was like I was led to that episode kind of. It was really crazy. When I clicked on it, it was like, holy shit, like, this, like, I would have, like, I so mmany times, like, I had that podcast for a long time. That was a super old episode. And it was like, it just felt like I was led to it, and it really, played on the things that I was asking my therapist about and the things that she asked me to do for the week.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just very weird and eye-opening, kind of.
I like that ringtone.
Maybe that's not anything crazy to people. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
Would you say you're a psychic? You have some psychic ability?
No.
Are you good at reading a room?
I think
somebody
I can.
Here?
No. I think I can read a room or I can read like one thing I will say, like, because like I was noticing that I would get in like these funks where I would be like really depressed or whatever for like a day or whatever, and then seriously like the next day, like I'd be depressed for a day or two, and then Mike would call me and he was having some serious issues with his life, and like it would all like culminate in me going and helping him, and my therapist was kind of like, well, does that like happen a lot where like, do you think that there's like maybe a connection between your energy and his energy, which I actually do believe that could be true, where I pick up on energy that he's laying down and it affects me or the people in my family that I'm close to.
You're like an X-Man.
No, I wouldn't say that. Don't mock me.
I'm not mocking
Don't
you.
fucking
Well, they say
me.
that like all the time, like twins know when things are wrong or whatever. Like twins have like some sort of like intuition of.
Well, me and Mike
like
worked together and lived together.
All right, I'm not
and,
saying you don't have to be twins. I'm sure there's some sort.
But we were very close for a long time.
You're not anymore.
Not as much as we were, but to the point where I do believe that there is a, like, we still have a lot of times where it's like one of us will call the other one out of the blue, and the other one will be like, oh, I was just looking up your number, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I've had stuff like that happen before, and that kind of thing. That's pretty cool.
It just happens a lot with him, but
interesting phenomenon. Is that something we should research more thoroughly instead of?
I like the idea. Like, synchronicity is a big deal to me, because I do see, because there's like coincidences and then there's synchronicity, which like this. I don't think that this was a coincidence. I really it didn't feel like just a coincidence to me, and maybe I'm explaining it wrong, but like it was a big deal that I talked to. I feel like the Ptolemy episode of Dumb People Town came out Monday night, but I didn't listen to it. I have therapy on Tuesday morning, and so Tuesday morning I was, went to therapy or whatever. Tuesday night I went to work, listened to the Dumb People Town because that's when I listened to it, and then I normally run out of podcasts by, Thursday. All the new ones have come out or whatever. So, like, I have a day or two of, like, okay, well, I need to find something to listen to. And seriously, I hadn't clicked on that hardcore philosophy one since I downloaded it.
Yeah.
And And I don't even know if I even did scroll through it and see that, but either way, I just remember I scrolled down, I just did one, I'm making a gesture that no one can see, but I tried to scroll as far as I could in one scroll so that I didn't have to scroll forever, or keep scrolling. And the one that it stopped on was Ptolemy, and I was like, oh, I just it just registered oh, I'll check this out because that's a crazy, a weird name, and I just felt like there's a reason, there was something about it, and when I clicked on it, it was literally to a T what I was talking to my therapist about and ways to address it.
Yeah.
And whether that's we look for those things in the aftermath, because I don't know, your upstairs neighbor is trying to bury a body up there, and it's gonna come
upstairs?
down.
I think someone's shoveling.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of somebody upstairs trying to bury a body and they just drop it down into your living room and put a rug over it.
Oh, not again.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about synchronicity?
Well, one time,
in band camp.
Yeah, I've never been to band camp. I don't know. I think it's definitely a thing, definitely a possibility. I don't know that it happens to me too often, but yeah, I've kind of sent something or kind of felt something like I should talk to this person or reach out and then it just it was kind of yeah, I did need that.
Yeah,
more so for them. There's also been times where I'm just man, I was thinking about this episode of a TV show. Then it's on. That happens to me not so much anymore, but when I was younger.
Yeah, me too.
It happened all the time. I would think of I'd just be at school and I'd think about a TV show.
Or a song or something that you haven't heard for a long time, and then all of a sudden they play it on a radio station that you listen to all the time, but they never play that song.
Yeah.
And no, I've had that. I used to have that happen. My brother used to say that the radio used to play for me in my celebrity, because I would always go, it'd be a great song would be this one, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere it would come on or whatever. And but yeah, it's the same thing with episodes of TV shows, which I remember specifically it happening with Seinfeld a lot, which when you look at the catalog of how many episodes of Seinfeld there are and whatever,
right,
the idea of that episode getting pulled or whatever,
and playing, one time it was really weird. So I was in my room listening to music, but the TV was on, and during the song, there was a break where it had a quote from TV.
Yep.
You know how songs we'll put little clips or whatever. This did it, and at that exact same time, it was playing on the TV.
That's crazy.
It was I was listening to it and watching this, and I was just wait a minute, what? And then I was I paused the song and I turned it up, and it was the dialogue was. I was what? That's more coincidental, but that was super crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say because people would consider synchronicity as something that has a larger
right
meaning. So even the songs or TV shows is more coincidental, but those are massive. To me, it's and I know
that it happens so much often. Yeah, with that particular show. Yeah, like you're saying, with Seinfeld, even if a show had
one season only.
Yeah,
still,
it's just
the idea of it even being on,
or of an old show. Yeah, you think of you think of an old show Boy Meets World was was what it was. Yeah. So I just thought of this. I thought of Boy Meets World, whatever. I was I remember this episode. It was really cool. And then I go to turn it on, or I see that it's on.
Yeah, you put a DVD in, and you're oh, it's such a coincidence.
I see that it's on, and it is maybe that's definitely something I think we should look into in the future. But I do a couple housekeeping things that I want to talk about. I don't know if we mentioned it in the beginning, but our episode of Lady Bitch Time is out. Amanda gave birth to her son. I think the kid was 8 or 9 pounder, the big old baby,
10-inch dick.
He's cute. The baby's cute.
You don't like it when I say that stuff.
You say really inappropriate comments. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable.
She kicked me off the show.
You want to get kicked off the show?
I don't, but I think that it's. I don't think that. I just see it on your face. Okay, I won't say anything controversial ever again.
No. But yeah, cute kid, and then but we did an episode, and I think it turned out good.
Yeah.
I think it was funny. It's good. So go listen to that and listen to all our other episodes. Lady Bitch Time. It's a good program. Also, we now have merch. Rob.
Yeah, it's good merch.
Is that what you're gonna do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's on TeePublic. So teepublic.com /dudes with brews. I'm pretty sure what it is what it is. And you can buy stickers, you can buy shirts, sweatshirts, onesies for your babies, mugs, pillows.
Can you get a onesie for yourself?
No, they only make them in baby sizes.
I'm getting a sweatshirt.
Yeah, sweatshirt. I ordered my shirt, and the print should be in good quality because I did make sure the graphic was the size it needed to be when I uploaded it.
This is something that if you got a friend or friends that like to drink and like beers, get them this it's a good way to promote the podcast, and it's just kind of a cool, even if if people don't know the podcast right now, it's still like a Dudes with Brews is kind of a cool shirt to have. We have two designs. So we have a Dudes with Brews on a Porch, just the regular logo that you see on Facebook and iTunes and all that. But we also have a very special Strange Brew design, Rob. Yeah, which I haven't seen, so.
I sent it to you.
Oh, it was one of those? I don't remember it.
It was the black and white one.
I'll have to relook at it. Let me look.
Oh, well, so yeah, you can get the Strange Brew one, and same thing with the mugs, the notebooks, the phone cases. There's a bunch of
notebooks?
Shit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't control the pricing. TeePublic does that. So right now sometimes there's sales, sometimes they're not. But the Strange Brew one I think is pretty cool, and you can get in a sticker. So yeah, if you want to pick up a shirt, we do get a kickback from it. We get a commission off of it, and what we're going to be using that for, Rob, is we're going to be using it essentially just to give back into the podcast. Pay for hosting fees. I really need a new laptop, so I'd like to buy a new laptop. Also work on getting a third microphone, Rob, so when we interview more people, we're setting up more interviews and stuff like that. It's all going to go back, and then
the field recorder,
a field recorder, and then also so with it too, we're actually going to buy more merch with it, and we'll do giveaways and shit like that. Or send some people some stickers every once in a while.
We're not just going to pocket that money.
No, really. I mean, not like we don't make a shit ton of money off of it anyways, but
still,
if you want to pick up a shirt, pick up a shirt. If you want to pick up a sticker, a mug, or whatever, you can get the Strange Brew one or the just the regular logo one.
Yeah, tell your friends, buy it for your friends. They make great gifts, and then it'll make the show better. And it'll make
TeePublic.
No, I just looked it up. Yeah, that's a really cool graphic. I like that.
Yeah, teepublic.com /dudes with brews. You can get baseball shirts, which I think are pretty cool. You get hoodies. You can
get a button-up shirt, like a button-up baseball.
No, like the baseball T-shirt, where it's like the 3/4.
Oh, okay,
sleeves or whatever. They're pretty cool. I like them. I think they're.
We
very
need to
neat.
work on a way to get it teamed up with MeUndies, so we can get Dudes with Brews on MeUndies.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
So check that out.
I'm gonna email them and say I want Dudes with Brews MeUndies, and I'm gonna boycott MeUndies until you give it to me.
Boycott. I like the Strange. I'll be getting a Strange Brew T-shirt eventually. I ordered a Dudes with Brews one, and I'm fairly confident it's gonna be great quality because if you upload like a shitty image, they'll say it's shitty.
Yeah.
Like they'll say it's a poor quality.
It's not going to work or whatever.
Yeah. So
well, when you get it, we'll look at it and then we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. So, and we got stickers. Order some stickers, stick them on a light pole. The old-fashioned marketing.
Yeah, guerrilla style.
We drank some Founders Brewery Rubaeus, a raspberry ale.
My future son's name.
Robert.
Or daughter, Rubaeus.
I see you finished yours.
Yeah, you didn't finish yours. This is a first. Holy shit, we just made history.
We made history.
Drew had to be sick, and it needed to be a fruity, sweet, sugary beverage, which is right down my alley. But we made history. Everybody, give yourself a pat on the back. for listening long enough to hear an episode where I finished a beer that Drew did not.
Drink it or dump it, Rob.
I drank it.
And I'm going to dump it.
Oh, this is a fine day for I don't
Dudes
even
with
know.
Brews history.
I don't ever want you to not drink a beer, but
Yeah, I'm not going to drink that.
But yeah, no, it was I thought it was a good beer. It's very if you're somebody that likes more of a sweet, you have a sweet tooth. If you
It has like an ale amber to it a little bit, but it doesn't have the ale taste.
It's like a fruit punch more. It's like raspberry punch. It's not very. There is no real beer taste to it.
I just don't like. I don't like that intense like tartness.
Yeah,
that disappears right away.
That's a raspberry trait, though.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It could be that I don't feel good too.
Could be. I doubt it though, because I honestly, when I drink this, I don't think that it's a beer that you, because you like like the taste of an IPA, you like the taste of a beer. This has no beer taste.
Yeah,
none at all.
So hey, you can't win them all. It's okay.
Yeah.
Founders, you have Robert's support when it comes to the Rubaeus.
Yeah. Yep.
But you don't have mine.
I don't like the racism.
I don't know what that was about. I just saw a thing.
We just started a rumor with this podcast.
No, that was
Rubaeus
a real article. I don't know what happened though.
But anyway, no, it was a good. I mean, I do. The more I drank of it, the more I realized that you can't drink a bunch of these. If you drank like 3 or 4 of them, you'd have got rot pretty bad. But
sorry for the sniffling.
We all just want you to get better.
I woke up like this.
Better, Drew. It's because you work too much. You took, or maybe it's because you took a vacation.
I didn't.
And your body was
I took one day off.
Yeah, it's a vacation when you work all the time.
I worked. So get this, Rob. I worked 35 days in a row.
Damn. I'm on 15, and I'm like
35 days with not a single day off. Day 36, I took off.
Vacation, fun in the sun.
Isn't that nuts?
That is nuts.
35 days in a row.
And you were babysitting for like 8 hours at a crack for your sister.
Yeah.
And you're doing this
and
podcast.
I got this shitty beer as a reward.
Yeah, well.
Thanks a lot, Dan. If you're really trying to win over this Glazer family, you're fucking it up. Hope you're listening to this. And I want you to know, next time you buy me a beer, it better be an IPA. If you want my approval, if you want me to sweet talk my parents into liking you, Dan, you best step up your game.
Yeah, he doesn't care if you have to open it and try it in the goddamn store and go to jail for it.
I remember when you mocked me for being 18 years old and about to have a kid. I remember, Dan. Don't think I forgot.
This man doesn't forget.
And then you go and buy me this raspberry ale.
Strike 2.
Oh, boy.
Strike 2.
You're in a world of hurt, Dan. Dano. Danny. Daniel.
Dano. You're in a world of hurt, Dano.
I really didn't. As long as you're nice to my sister, that's really all I care about. My nieces, too. You should be nice to them.
And you could get better beer.
Right.
But those 3 things.
But everything I said before, I meant. But, just be nice to my sister. Otherwise,
you don't go out all the time. Need less babysitting.
Otherwise, I will make a call to my friend, the Hamburger Man, and he'll grind you up.
Feet first.
Feet first. Or in your case, it'll just be, start with the pinky.
Yeah. The slow grind.
Pew pew! Audio. Goodbye, everyone.